Hello. Today I'm going to explain what art is my weapon is and the origin story of me and what brought art is my weapon into being. In 2016, I had a traumatic brain injury. I fell 17 feet off of a balcony and had five subdural hematomas to my parietal occipital lobe and prefrontal cortex. At that point, I was a research and development kitchen and culinary innovation chef for BJ's Restaurants and Brewhouse, home of the famous Pazuki et al. On one Monday, I was writing a recipe for the next big thing to put on the menu for BJ's. And that next day, my life would be different, changed forever. I actually went to work the morning after I had my brain injury. It was so unfathomable of a thing to have happened to me. I was in denial and I just went to work like nothing happened with a big hole in the back of my head. I, of course, was rushed to the ICU immediately that day when my boss found out. Months later, so I had worked in the test kitchen from January of 2013 up until Christmas of 2016. Working, my life was food, and food was my weapon against all of the pain and mental health that issues that I've had my whole life. Um, I've been in therapy and psychiatry. I've been in therapy playing Candyland and Connect Four when my parents would go to marriage and family therapy when I was 3 or 4 years old. That I can remember. Just a brief glimpse of playing checkers or something. And psychiatry followed years after when I was in high school at sophomore. When the brain damage happened and I was put on I was having phantom pain and nerve damage. I have damage to my LC and L. I mean my L3 and L4 in my spine from the fall, and nerve damage because of that. I I was on and so because I began having seizures. So my seizures and things and my mobility, I could not use my fingers, my hands. I play guitar since I was a child. My mom taught me, and my hand function and mobility was greatly reduced to the point where I couldn't control my body and so I thought my life was gone forever. I was put on medical leave of absence from BJ's, and I have been on disability since then. When I was in hospitals, I lived in independent living facilities and assisted living facilities and acute health centers with long-term hospitals from 2017 until 2019. And in 2018, I started the National Art Alliance for Mental Health and Substance Abuse. When the brain damage happened, I turned to alcohol to stop the pain that I was having in my nerves. And I was also prescribed many other medications concurrently with the alcohol consumption. On August 17th of 2017, I went into treatment to address these things. And it has been since then that I have not drank alcohol or used drugs. And so I've always had a big passion for the mental health community um, and addicts. When I was 15, I went to wilderness rehab, and I at Aspen Achievement Academy in Utah, and was made an Eagle, which only 2% of the people of the kids that went to that program did. And what that means is there was an echelon system, and I learned from an early age that when my peers and I have a common struggle, I have the gift to communicate and to help people get through that and to see hope in otherwise hopeless situations. I'll be doing, and so the goal of the National Art Alliance for Mental Health and Substance Abuse, LLC, I shortly became homeless after starting that and couldn't afford the $800 California license fee for that LLC. But my dream was to do art therapy for the neurodiverse and addicts and to be a tool and a vessel for becoming a better version of yourself like I did just getting a little bit stronger and better every day. And that's what art taught me to do for myself. I Because of my loss of finger function, I was dropping my knives, and cooking became dangerous for me. So I almost fell onto a knife several times, killing my and so I just had to put down my knife and I picked up a brush instead. So art in the hospitals early on in 2017, I started art as my weapon because I knew I became obsessed with art. I'm autistic, and that was my new passion. You can never get bored with art and food and music. That's why these are my weapons to stay sane and to love myself and others in this world. And music and food and art are the three things that I are dearest to my heart, and I want to and give me the ability to connect with others and show my true self and let others show them true selves, because I learn more by teaching than by being but than by all of my I this I'm going to be doing art therapy classes and NFT workshops. I am so passionate about this, and I'm going to bring my full self to art as my weapon and building a community. Um, I'm so grateful for all of you, and I'll get a better video out soon.